and that's why I have no friends. But for some reason, the other way doesn't work either, because then we're fucking 8 feet apart. But,
yeah.
And then we can't sit next to each other, because that's the awkward.
That would be weird.
We're fake in love couple.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that should probably just be eliminated. Sitting next to, romantic or not, two people at a restaurant, bar.
Yeah.
A bar, if you're at the actual bar, it's acceptable. And slightly less awkward, but still sometimes awkward. But if you're at a restaurant and you're on the same side, it's fucking weird. Stop doing that.
I think that's weird. There is a mostly sports-based podcast here in Sacramento with a couple of sports announcer personalities that they've been doing the same show for a while.
Yeah,
like several years, and they do a live version of it, and they do it with one camera, and they are male and female, and not relationship oriented at all. But they sit just like really, literally right next to each other, like I've never sat that close to you.
Are you trying not to name them on purpose?
Oh no, we can name them
because I want to get them on the show eventually.
Yeah. What I'm trying not to do is I'm tired and I could drift negative, and I don't really want to drift negative, but I just think it's an awkward look.
So what I was going to defend them, I'll play devil's advocate, is that I don't know. I've never really been in radio that I can think of. We've done like random little TV-ish feeling things, or like been on the set of real shoots with Reebok or you or whatever, where things are slightly, or even like Bart gets a lot of, because he's been around Hollywood, so he knows call sheets and how things are set up.
Right.
So when you shoot like a real thing with Bart and JK, it's like going to a shoot. It feels that way. I haven't done radio though per se, because even like hanging out with Stone Cold at his house, he was like his own independent setup, and then he ships it off. But I assume, and I don't know, that maybe they sit that way at their radio gig, because that was their first gig, I think, right? I think they were radio and then announcers, and now podcast and announcers. I'm just trying to brainstorm as maybe that's what they're used to doing.
Radio people don't sit close together at all.
Then maybe
they don't even have to be in the same room. They're often
Then
not.
I have no idea. Maybe they're just fucking awkward. And maybe the first question we ask them when they come on the show is, why are you fucking awkward?
I think that the answer to the question is that they do the video with a webcam, or at least they did, and so it's only so wide, and they're trying to they have a logo banner behind them, which should be probably, that'd be a thing if we were doing it right now.
Yeah, and you're trying to get it all.
Right.
I get
it all. I get that, but
yeah.
Yeah,
and then it's hard to have a conversation too when you're looking to your side. That's why I said
you're side eyeing all the time.
Yeah, even at a bar, I'm half turning and throwing my leg on the next seat.
Right.
And this has nothing to do with like homophobia or nothing, but like you leave a gap seat in between also, because that's where my foot's going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people, growing up would always say stupid things like, "Oh, you sit next to a dude," or some shit. I don't know. That's just that's the era I grew up in.
Yeah, that was the era, just probably till recently, and for some people,
that's the history of humankind.
That's the history of humankind. Yeah, the seat that you leave in the movie theater. If it's the weird thing about that is that if it's a stranger, you obviously leave a space,
right?
But now. Not that we can actually go to movie theaters. Well,
no,
some of them are reopening right now.
They're opening right now.
But now we're used to going to places that have reservations, and you have an assigned seat.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have somebody right next to you. But they're usually lounge chairs.
Are you right now, though?
I don't think so now.
No.
But theoretically.
Sure.
Work with me here.
Yeah.
Until mid-March, okay?
So that what you do, I have the answer to all this, because I'm very anxious and antisocial, is I go to movies at 11 o'clock in the morning by myself. Nobody's going to be there.
Yeah,
on a Tuesday.
I'll go to the late show.
Just
exactly the opposite.
But if you do a Monday to Thursday, non-summer, chances are you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then I got a secret movie theater. I might have even talked about it on here. I have a secret movie theater.
I know where it is now.
Yeah, it's not a secret, but the world doesn't. That's all that matters.
But see, the one that I go to is almost a secret one anyway. So
even the one downtown, I've never really been to it when it's packed. I think we saw like Captain Marvel or something pre-COVID. Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, whoever the hell it is.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Miss Marvel's also a person, but not a movie yet. Yeah?
That'd be correct, yeah.
Captain Marvel, who's a guy and a girl, right?
Lady Hulk is coming, too.
No, I don't know about that.
Okay, but here's the thing. TV, not...
Disney Plus?
Disney Plus, and it's...
I don't know, man.
Tatiana Maslany, who is fucking amazing.
We'll gotta look
if you have never watched Orphan Black...
Nope.
It's a just amazing show. So good.
Tatiana what?
Mulsani, I think. M-U-L-S.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
She was just in that...
I don't know if I know her.
She was just in that Perry Mason on HBO.
They say she's a comedian.
That'd be weird.
It says comedian actress.
Hell, she is funny.
Oh, no, I'm stupid.
Okay.
It says Canadian actress.
Okay. That I believe.
That's hard for those audio folks. Is we're in a dark room. We're in our gym.
We're in our gym, and it's echoing like a mother.
Really? I can't hear it too bad.
I can hear it.
And then Jim has the lights perfect on us, but the lights in the building are down. And so when I look up, these fancy boy lights are in my eyes. Check us out on YouTube, 50% Facts, if you want to see our beautiful faces when we talk. And my hands move a lot. So they're hitting my eyes. So then when I went to look at my phone, the older you get, I assume your pupils adjust slower. Because I feel that. I'll be blinded for like 10 minutes after I turn the light off.
I don't know. Maybe that's a personal variation.
I don't really believe in eye doctors either, so.
Oh, no. I had to give in. Actually, as a kid, I had glasses, and I hated them. They always hurt. I have a giant head, and my ears are strangely placed, and so it was difficult to get them adjusted in a way that worked. It's just because I have like a lot of astigmatism in my right eye, I think. Whatever. So it doesn't really focus where it's supposed to all the time.
It's not astigmatism. It's astigmatism.
Astigmatism. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that for a long time.
And then as I've gotten older, you get more and more farsighted as you get older.
I think my eyes are okay. I've never had I can't read the sign.
Which one?
Our sign?
The exit sign?
No, that I for sure can read. Our sign?
On the window?
The makeshift sign?
Yeah.
I can obviously see what it says because it's ours and I know what it is, but I can't see the letters. They're blurry.
We are not obviously open yet. We are working toward that. We could be open if we actually had all the equipment that we have ordered.
There's some things in life that I got to teach you kids. There's going to be obstacles. And for some reason,
all of them have come to visit us.
We can't avoid them at this point. But what I think we've done a good job, Jim leading the way here, is that the work that we can do, you do. Because someone else, something else, whatever that might be, is going to slow you down. Mm-hmm. And that's how all business goes. And everyone's like, Tony Robbins-y top tips, Gary V stuff is like, it's going to take longer than you think. And that is generally a good tip because whenever you think like, oh, I'm going to open here and that, and I just need 3 weeks to get my website up or something, it will probably take longer than you want depending on how complex the mission or business is. Ours is actually quite complex, even though, again, I was like, you're just open a gym. Like, we are, but we're also like revamping, renovating a building in the process of COVID where supply chains are really slow with the equipment we need in many facets, like lifting equipment for sure. And
tradespeople are crazy busy because everyone, like the building construction didn't really slow down here.
Right. So everything's a slight delay. But we find things to do that have to get done, but you do them when you can get them done because someone else is going to slow you down. Mm-hmm. Don't allow yourself to make your process longer than it needs to be. Mm-hmm. The process will do that on its own. You have to be on time with everything you do because some motherfucker's going to slow you down. Mm-hmm. We got our equipment order in as soon as we got the lease, as soon as we knew the square footage. Mm-hmm. And it's slow because equipment sold out worldwide. Everyone wants to get jacked all of a sudden. And onto that, I know you bastards bought all the equipment is not using it.
You're not using it.
They're not using it. You're not using it. We have a fat community, people begging in our DMs to open, but we have no plates.
Yeah. we have one set of bumper plates so far.
Like 275? Not even. 45, 25, 10. $195.
Well, we don't have a bar. So.
$205.
Yeah, we don't have a bar. So
yeah, I got my first workout in yesterday. A little shoulder bicep day.
We have dumbbells from 5 pounds to 100 pounds in 2.5 pound increments. That's been nice.
250-pound stacks of cables.
Yeah,
that's nice. I mean, everything's nice. It's looking lovely.
We've got 6 racks.
6 racks.
5 half racks and a full rack.
4 stations to pull or do weightlifting. 3 more on the way. We got a lot of shit on the way, but plates and barbells are kind of what you need. Because honestly, if we had plates and barbells, and see again, we need to build some platforms.
Yeah,
but rubber
horse stall mats.
I don't know what is that one. I can find some reasons in my head why equipment's sold out. Maybe the metal chain or the locks and the barbells and the supply chain. I don't know who the hell's buying all the horse stall. Are there random more horses than normal? There's no horse stall mats.
No idea.
There might be more horses being born. COVID babies.
I don't. Maybe gyms are building stuff outside that they're using mats for.
Maybe
they don't want to take their current mats.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I didn't drive by. I did drive by some of our commercial gyms trying to go outside, but I didn't look at their flooring. You might be right. Maybe the big chains are buying that shit up.
It can't all be. It can't all be home gyms. I mean, maybe it is, but I don't think it can be.
I don't think so either.
We're also in a part of town where there aren't that many garages, so there can't be that many home gyms.
Definitely not down here.
Which is why people in the neighborhood are coming to say, when are you going to open?
Yeah. And California just opened their stuff. 4 or 5 days ago? Gyms, movie theaters.
Well, this county did. A few counties did.
I heard a couple others though. I was just talking on the phone, my buddy Matthew, and he said a lot of San Diego is starting to move that way. And again, people have been doing this shit illegally the whole time. And I'm not the one to say that all laws are right, because they're clearly not. If you look at history, just because it's law doesn't mean it's right. But I am also the kid that would nearly cry when he got in trouble in school because I hated breaking the rules.
Yeah, I don't feel you on that point.
I don't know why.
So we are in front of.
What are we going to call this thing?
I was going to call it the barn wall.
I think the iron wall.
Or the iron
Is it iron, though?
No.
Yeah, that's the issue. What's the...
It's steel, but...
Steel wall's okay. I feel like iron wall.
The barn bell wall.
Yeah, it could be the barn. You can call it the barn.
Call it the barn. Yeah, we have a giant wall. It is, 12 feet high by 30-something?
Yeah, 35-ish.
That is the wall to the restrooms. And it is now covered with reclaimed, salvaged...
100-year-old-ish.
120-year-old corrugated metal that has been rusted by time and not by...
Us.
Not by chemical processes done at the last minute.
Authentico.
Yeah, it's super authentic. It is of the area. It is organic in the weirdest way that metal can be organic. It's organic.
Yeah, Northern California barn.
Yeah,
from the 1900s. I think. So this is our only wall in the entire building that's drywall. The rest of the thing, we're building the podcast room, which is a steel tent, and we're building our own shit out of that. The rest of it is cinder block, very old building. But this wall, in interior design, whether you're doing a larger room or a family room or something, typically you'll do some kind of an accent wall where you might splash some color, or you have whatever it might be, typically color. Side note that will end up where I was going, is that this is one of the first things I've ever had in my head, vision, branding, look, that kind of came to fruition all the way, because that's real hard, because again there's speed bumps in the way. And we had speed bumps. We just elongated our process because of COVID and because everything was taking so long that we didn't end up cutting a corner. Does that make sense? Because the barbells took an extra 3 weeks, and to get the rusted metal would have taken us an extra 3 weeks, so we're all right, let's do it, rather than other projects I've been a part of. One, maybe laziness. Two, maybe lack of importance or whatever, you would just say like, all right, we'll just buy new metal. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We could have had a shiny steel wall up here.
Which I don't think would have hit this as
nearly
hard.
A month ago.
Right. Or 3 months ago if we really pulled the trigger, wanted to. But that doesn't hit the vision I had, and I think we had. I don't know. I don't want to speak for Jim's brain. But of what the look and feel would be. Whereas, and in some other companies I've worked with or I own, some of those details just aren't as important. They're not as like, whether it's a service company or whatever it is, it's not always like story based or like vibe based or us based. It's not like our heart. Like I put a lot of me into everything I do, but the aesthetic to me of me coaching you isn't as important. Right, because what's important there is I'm putting my heart into caring about your lifts, caring about my programming, caring about your nutrition, caring about how you're feeling going up to your meet, right? Like my attention goes somewhere else. But at this point, all we have is the building. Obviously, we're working on the apparel, we're working on our memberships, but we don't have like humans in here. So I didn't have to put any of my fuel to the humans yet. We could put all of our fuel into just what this thing looks like.
Yeah.
And so it's more of a complete job. Attention to detail, theme, art direction than I've ever done, which is I've told you multiple times in our meetings, like just highly driven by Disneyland, really. And I know that sounds so stupid because like there's memes of why do adults go to Disney World or that type of adult that likes Disney. Well, that's fucking me. That's fucking me. I wear baggy clothes. I deadlift 700 pounds and I love Disney World.
I mean, I get the Disney thing because it's like a perfect realization of all the things that it's trying to evoke.
Right.
You know, it's like
I don't like
super
Mickey.
Perfect.
I don't like Mickey Mouse, and I'm not watching Cinderella. That's not why I like Disney. I think that's where the difference between the meme and me goes. The meme is like the girls that still just like want to be Snow White.
Yeah.
They're like too obsessed with Disney presences.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars, and it just happens that now we're part of the fucking Disney clan. But besides that, or Marvel,
right?
But besides that, it's more so, how well tied everything is. They don't, they didn't drop the ball anywhere.
Yeah,
like you could probably go to some of their. I heard their employees are super well trained too. You probably go to some. There's probably books and manifestos of like Mickey Mouse's favorite meal, even though he's probably never ate in a cartoon. You know what I mean? Like I love that for some reason. And you, what you guys will see soon on the website. Jim did a similar thing with our logo, our mascot, not our logo, our mascot. And like why? Because that's going to help us in a shirt that I design 3 years from now. I'm going to go back to that and say, oh, Jim said this. Oh yeah, our bear wouldn't be on that. He would rock this, or he would look like this, or he wouldn't go there.
Right.
Why was he here? He wouldn't be whatever. Yeah. And those details I think matter when you're trying to represent a story which then relates to humans, which then builds a community.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, it just literally just gave the thing a backstory, and I mean, there's reality of how it's created, but it also the backstory describes what it evokes. For me personally.
No, me too. I love it.
But yeah, so
that's what you do, and then you want to call it tribalism or finding your people or speaking your truth or whatever these cliche terms are. But that's what you do. You tell your story and do things how you want to do, and then those people relate. Or if they don't, they go elsewhere. And that's totally fine. And that's how I think real business is made. I was even talking to some friends who came by and helped us a little bit, and we're hanging out, and they're like, oh, why don't you design this? Or what about this kind of shirt? I was like, yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to make the clothes I want to wear. I want to make the clothes that I like and I want to wear. And then maybe not, I don't even know how many people are in the world. 8 billion? 9 billion? Maybe 9 billion people
That's a good question. I don't know.
Won't like my clothes.
Yeah.
And maybe it's only 10,000, but those 10,000 are going to like the clothes that I like because we like the same shit.
Right.
Or they have this similar story to me, or they have a similar whatever aesthetic. Rather than, oh, I saw, there's these pants that this guy did. I'm going to do these pants. Fuck that guy's pants. I'm going to make my pants.
Well, I think that I hope it's not too much of a luxury for it to work that way. And we'll know when we start selling stuff.
Yeah,
but
and it's not like I'm making fucking space boots.
No,
we're not going crazy.
But in a perfect world of design, your personal taste is what what drives everything you do.
I hope so.
And it vibes with enough people that they buy it.
Right.
The other approach is to constantly be trying to, price the market in terms of what their taste is and try to meet them all the time.
Right. And then you meet them with quality, you meet them with design, and you meet them with price. Right. And now you're just running a business, though. Like, I don't want to do that.
Right. And
like, I am a businessman, but I never want to be a businessman. Like, I want to be a creator.
Right.
Like, I want to create shit, whether it's a gym, whether it's clothing, whether it's friendships, whether it's relationships, whether it's community, whether it's content.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be a punching numbers guy. Like, I'll make this shirt because I can make it $1 cheaper than Jim makes it, and then I'm going to win this battle. Like,
right.
I don't like all that. Like, obviously, we have to play some of that numbers game, but that's not why I want to create a shirt, where some people do. They literally just create a shirt company because they know search engine optimization and they can price it better.
Excuse me. They can be our marketing consultants.
Yeah, they can help me, but that's not going to be the core of where we go.
Not exactly what we're shooting for, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it'd be lovely to be 30 feet that direction and have the studio be finished, but we're not
soon.
Soon, but we're not there yet. I think we've probably touched on it before, but it was a rat's nest back there.
Yeah, it was a little
literally. Yeah, I mean, I hate to play up too much about how terrible it was, but we've conquered the problem here.
The whole building was a mess, really, to be honest. And our landlord's been lovely, and no disrespect to him or anything, but this place was a fucking shit show. The rafters hadn't been cleaned. I was literally up there yesterday cleaning rafters by hand because it was just...
There's still,
You couldn't decorate as well for Halloween with cobwebs.
With fake ones?
Yeah, as it was up there.
Yeah, I believe
we could have left it, and people would have thought we were spoopy.
Early Halloween.
Yeah, they thought we would have been spoopy themed. It was that bad.
Yeah.
The floor, obviously, full of oil. There hasn't been an oil shop here in 60 years.
Yeah.
And then the back, same mess. I mean, there's just cracks and crevices. I mean, Jim and I basically spent maybe about 3 days just fixing cracks.
Yeah.
Whether it be caulking or Jim made some like metal contraptions to block things and foam and whatever, and then we got to insulate, do the floor. But then we're kind of talking. Then it's kind of the decoration point, and that'll chip away. Hopefully, we get the gym part open before that or similar-ish timing. That's the other thing too. Is not to rant on what I already ranted on, but like so much is out of your hands in life.
Yeah,
and we can get deeper if you folks would like to go deeper. So much is out of your hands. You kind of fight with your spouse or your wifey poo or your mom. Just tell them you love them regardless. All this stuff is like that. I have a headache every night, but I start to kind of like, all right, well, is there something more I could have done, or is there something else I need to do? And if there's not, you kind of just got to lay your head down.
Yeah.
And if there is, you probably should have just done it. It's that simple. If you're going to be a business owner, if you're going to be any kind of creator, entrepreneurish person, you just kind of have to. There's no looking around. You got the mirror, there's you, and even Jim. Like, I've never once gone to Jim like, yeah, man, could you, I do it. You just do it. You just fucking do it.
Lately, especially, we have been borrowing a phrase from someone I've read for a while who, I mean, he's a writer. He's not an author. I would call him a writer. Shea Serrano. And every once in a while on Twitter, you'll see him say, in an encouraging way, get a W today.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of that's especially in the last few weeks when it's turned into such a slog, waiting for people and like things being more complicated than we thought they were going to be or whatever. It's like, just get some kind of W today. Win on one point, regardless of how small it is, because you need that to keep yourself going.
Yeah, or find some momentum. You got to create your momentum in a way. And so if you just sit back and like, dang, this is dirty, or dang, this barbell in here, and you just sit. Momentum will never come. Yeah. Now you're relying on a freight truck to show up to build your momentum, or you just go fucking do it.
Yeah. Now I don't want to throw too much shade on one of the vendors that we purchase things from, but I will say this: it was a giant surprise to us. Yeah. For
some equipment,
for a truck to come in a couple of days earlier than expected,
with 6 hour notice.
6-8 hours notice, whatever. But essentially it's a giant truck, and there's no lift gate to get things out. There's no forklift. There's no way to get stuff out, and we literally just had to put up a bat signal for everybody that we know who could get away and come and help us essentially do a bucket brigade to get stuff out of the.
What do they call it? Fireman line.
I always say bucket brigade because you're just like, it's when you're pouring.
Yeah.
Water.
I think it's called a fireman line.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
I don't know. I think possibly you made that up. I don't know.
We're checking this one. I can't always be wrong.
I don't know.
Fireman.
50% facts, folks.
Line. Fireman line dance.
I paid to watch that.
I typed in fireman line. Guess the very first thing that popped up.
What?
Bucket brigade.
Bucket brigade. Yeah.
That means I have to be somewhere, right?
You're in the.
That's crazy.
I've
never heard bucket brigade. I understood it, but I've never heard it. Call a team of firefighters.
It could be that I'm old. Anyway.
I feel like I'm an old soul.
Bucket brigade to get everything in, and then literally building this stuff has not been that difficult.
No, it's just big boy Legos.
Yeah.
It's just a big boy Legos. I mean, it's not easy.
Erector set.
A lot of, at least, so I guess in the terms of not hitting hiccups, it's easy.
Yeah.
In the terms of like effort, yeah, it's medium.
Yeah.
Like, because that's all. But at this point, I'm not judging anything by effort because everything's been a lot.
Right,
especially these last 3 weeks. I think you and I have been pulling 10-hour days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like effort, that's kind of a given to me. It's like how many fucking hiccups. That's when I'm like, this was hard. Like, when you hit fucking 20 speed bumps and you got to do 3 Home Depot runs in between.
Yeah.
That shit's pissing me off.
I'm getting tired of using my credit card.
I don't mind. Digital money. It's not even real.
God, I'm getting tired of going to home improvement stores.
I really don't like them to begin with. I don't like shopping to begin with. I know some people love like grocery stores. Some people love like Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff. I hate all of that. I like gas stations for some reason.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they always find the newest snacks. I kind of like to see what's new energy drink or new protein bar or something. But
yeah.
I've always hated Home Depots. I've always hated Targets. I've always hated grocery stores. I hate all that.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it.
So yeah, there was that, and then as we sit here now, we may or may not be getting a refrigerator at any moment because it's been a good month since I ordered this sucker, and I emailed the other day and said, "Hey, can I get an update on this order?" And what I got was, literally a link to a logistics company website that's supposed to, like freight logistics, and a number, and it said, label created. I think all of us who have ever anticipated any kind of package have seen label created a number of times, and then that was it. It was like it's still today. This is Tuesday the 6th, and it said that estimated delivery October 5th, which was yesterday. So I was here all day. We're obviously not open yet. When we're open, there'll be somebody here from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. whatever. But not yet, and so it means getting here early, and not that there's any lack of things to do.
Yeah, we fiddle,
but you just don't know.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here recording a podcast, and we can have a truck pull up in the parking lot any moment with anything.
Yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, I have a bunch of labels created. I got labels galore with no answers. And you guys might, like Jim said, we're not meaning to sound negative. We're just telling you some speed bumps. I'd actually say I'm a negative-ass human to begin with, and I don't like to let that out to the world. And you can call me fake if you'd like. I like to say I'm putting my best foot forward, and I just eat most of that. But my general morale, despite wanting to be open and clothing launched last week, my general morale is still like a nice 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
I don't know about yours, but I'm generally pumping. Like otherwise, if my morale was dead, it would be really hard to do the 10-hour days.
I'm not spending all of every sleepless night that I have in abject terror. So that's a positive.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that this is all going to come together. I was more confident when we first started, but the way that you actually start anything is by ignoring the the potential for negative.
Yeah, you got to do a 1, 2, 3 jump.
Yeah, you like even if you acknowledge that they exist, you have to ignore them to a certain extent because it's like if you read and took to heart every negative Yelp review for any restaurant that you ever wanted to go to, you would never eat out.
Right.
Because somebody is going to yuck your yum.
Yeah. And about like the starting, I don't know if I believe, because it's too like overdone, like get out of your comfort zone to grow. You're not growing. Like, bitch, maybe I don't want to grow. Like, what does grow mean to you? Like, getting uncomfortable doesn't mean grow. And if you're talking about actual physical change in terms of strength, yeah, you got to go add some stimulus that's maybe a little uncomfortable for you to gain muscle or gain strength, sure. But in life, I just don't know if that's the case, because there's tons of people that do spontaneous shit that they probably don't like and go nowhere mentally or physically. You know what I mean?
Well, it isn't guaranteed. That's
right. But that's
damn sure.
But that's what everyone's telling everyone to do. Like, oh, you hate heights, go jump out of a plane. The growth will be. I don't know about all that, but I do agree with Jim that probably whatever task you're trying to do, and if you're trying to do it on a larger scale, not just like, oh, I want to pick up golf on the weekends or kind of play tennis, but if you're trying to really accomplish something, it's probably because you have a real passion for it, hopefully. And then yeah, there's probably going to be some fear there. Every human's kind of afraid of failures. Every human's kind of afraid of loss, kind of afraid of sucking, afraid of judgment, self-consciousness, whatever, based on you or your work. So I wouldn't say that it's necessary. I think that's the issue here. Is people say like the uncomfort is necessary to then grow. But what I would say is it's kind of a result or part of the process. That if you care about something greatly and you want to do it well for yourself or others, there will be uncomfort in there. But don't just go chase uncomfort. I don't like snakes. I'm not just going to get a pet snake to grow my mental fortitude. Like that. But that's how fuckers talk.
Yeah.
That's how fucking people talk.
Yeah.
And I don't like now you're just getting a bunch of people with arachnophobia, playing with Black Widows and jumping out of planes when you have vertigo, rather than like, what do I care about?
Right.
And why and where do I go with this care? And is there uncomfort on that road? Likely.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why people, and maybe it's because I don't listen to these people's full podcasts and I don't listen to shit or watch anybody's stuff, and so maybe I just see their tweets or their little clips and they talk that way and they explain it better. But I don't think so. I think they just throw these cliche things and then call yourself a philosopher and move on.
I don't never like the expression "get comfortable being uncomfortable," because see, if you get comfortable being uncomfortable, then you're comfortable.
Well, and I'm working so hard so I can be comfortable in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing this like, okay, so there are people who are they're serial entrepreneurs or they're startup specialists or whatever, and so they go through this shit over and over again because they get off on it in some way.
That's what fulfills them.
They find it fulfilling and rewarding and all that stuff.
And I do in some ways.
And yeah, there is something very exciting about the beginning of something, but the sort of the late, middle, and early end of the beginning is always a lot of work. Yeah. It's always really, really hard. I think it's more that you're developing your tolerance for being temporarily extremely uncomfortable. Yeah. And not really becoming comfortable with that. It's like I guess maybe this is a Star Wars thought. If you watch the 4, 5, and 6 all back to back, you can see that they're just one situation and another that they have to face, and they're like increasingly unlikely to succeed, and it becomes a joke. Like it's funny if you see them all together. I don't think you really get it when you see it movie by movie. If you just see the whole thing together, you get like a gallows humor about it. About figuring out how to survive when whatever is
when a lot of comedies have taken that. Like what's the Ben Stiller one where he's trying to get married or something? Is it Meet the Fockers? Is that the first one? Where it's just like things.
I think so.
Yeah, he's supposed to get married, and things just get like okay, like he kind of shit in the bathroom, and the bath that the flusher's broken. The girlfriend's gonna see his poop, and then it's like oh shit, he just burned her dress, and it's like oh shit, he just punched the dad. Like it's just escalating, uncomfortable, and they make it cringe and uncomfortable on purpose, rather than what you're talking about is more obstacles per se.
Yeah.
But there's kind of humor in both. Like, oh fuck, what's next?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then another saying I fucking hate, like, follow your passion and you won't work a day in your life.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
but what I do think is that
work is work.
Yeah.
Whether if you enjoy it, it goes down a little easier, but it also has the potential for greater disappointment. So.
It just depends on what's driving you, right? Because if you're being driven, and me, you, and little bro Mike Sean were having a conversation, if what's driving you is an ego-based item that fulfills you.
Yeah.
And I do think money can be a passion-based driver. I don't think it's always ego-based, but majority of time for a majority of people it is. Oh, I want to buy this, so I need this money, or I want to have this lifestyle, or be viewed in this class or this car, and that's why I want this money. That won't get you up at 6 a.m. to run the 10-hour days to put up tetanus wall that cut my knee 20 times.
Tetanus wall.
Whereas my passion is creating something, a story, an environment, a community. And so that got me up to do 10-hour days to get the tetanus wall and cut my knee. Where it is work is work is work. Where I was going was that your life and work then are one if you are passion driven. And so there is no like cut off. There's no turn off. You find your balance maybe, but your gas tank will always be there. Your reserve never runs out. You know, like if you're just in a regular job, your gas tank's going to run out and you're just going to quit one day, or you're just going to explode, or you're going to go throw your computer off the top shelf. Yeah. Where in this world, if you chose the right path, I think you can run on empty for a real long time. And it'll either refuel itself, or you'll find something, or something will kind of get it going. And that goes back to, I think we've talked about it here too, it's just not everybody's made for it. Not everybody's made to be a boss. Not everyone's made to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone's made to be a businessman. Because then it goes back to where I started, is if you don't get your shit done waiting for the other people, then you just can't do it. You just can't do it. If you're always going to be the last in line, if you're always going to be waiting for the barbells aren't here. We don't have to build the platforms. We don't even have barbells. We're trying to get these platforms built so then when the barbells here, we're ready because we can control our piece. Right. And it goes into lifting for all our old school meathead listeners is the same thing. You're injured. Like, oh, my knee hurts. I'm going to sit on the couch and eat Cheetos and cry. Oh, my knee hurts. I'm just going to bench 5 times a week, which is not a bad idea for a powerlifter. You know, like you can find ways around that. What's in my hands? What's in my hands too? And how do I put that action plan into play rather than my knee hurts, powerlifting's over, I got to find a new hobby. Yeah. Drink a beer. Yeah.
Boy, there was something that I was going to say.
Sorry, I rambled a lot. I rambled a lot today.
Oh, man, it was just right at the end there. I had it in my head, and now it's gone. No, I remember what it was. A couple of times in the last week or so, I've seen people on my social media, mostly Facebook, say, I lost the gym I was going to. Fuck it, I'm going to open a gym. Or they say, I need to understand why it is I'm not just doing this because it would make a lot of sense for me, whatever. And what's really instructive to me is the comments. And in one particular, there were a lot of people who had gyms or have gyms now, whatever, and all they had to say was negative. And it's like, like maybe you didn't make a good choice. Yeah. Maybe didn't. Maybe in 6 months I'm going to feel the same way.
I don't think so.
But I don't think so.
No, because you haven't owned, but you've ran stuff. And what I think too is that people enjoy the idea and not the process. And again, these are cliches that I'll try to, because I talk shit on these cliches, I'm going to try to explain deeper why I think they're decent. It's just how people represent these or present these cliches. They suck. I don't know, but
stand by while we reconstruct this thought process.
Where I was generally going is that everyone in fitness says they're 18 to 28 and they're like, I like lifting weights. Yeah. I'm going to open a gym. I like lifting weights. I'm going to become a trainer. Yeah. I like the enjoying the process. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So enjoying the process versus being passionate or looking at the end goal. And these are all cliches that are thrown out there, but what I mean by that, and this is what I think is actually wrong with our education system, if we want to go deeper with it, is that I'm good at math. I'm going to go be an engineer. But you have no taste of what engineer work is Monday through Friday. And if you absolutely hate the work, that's not the right job for you, regardless if you're good at math or regardless if you like building bridges. The idea of being an architect or something, if you're good with that, doesn't mean you like what the work is. And so if you like lifting weights because you like being jacked and you enjoy the feeling and the endorphins of squatting heavy, doesn't automatically mean that you're going to love the process of mopping floors, talking to people nicely every day, giving free advice every hour, listening to someone bitch at you when they say their quads hurt and you're trying to teach them how to squat. Like, that's the process of coaching. Now, if the fulfillment you get is insane from getting that person from a 1-plate squat and leading them to a 2-plate squat and seeing how much enjoyment is in their eyes and how strong and confident you've guided them to grow, now maybe the training's worth it for you. But that's why I think probably, and I don't know who were in those comments, but that's probably why those guys are so negative, is they loved crushing weights, they're power lifters, and instead of being creative and self-aware and knowing which path they should take, they're just like, well, I pull 700, I'm pretty strong. Guys ask me for advice. I love being in the gym. If I opened a gym, I'd be in the gym all day.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's not really what it is.
No.
Because as soon as you open a gym, and depending, there's obviously tons of different business models, but you're now a janitor, you're an electrician, you're an accountant, you just became a trainer, you just became a friend, and you just became a leader of a large community with some influence. If you enjoy those things, yeah, maybe. Maybe that is the path for you. I don't like being in a gym all day, and I never have, even despite me being like a gym rat, both in the strength and conditioning sense and in a basketball sense. I just enjoy creating. I enjoy camaraderie. I enjoy helping people, and I think this is a piece missing from our community here in Sacramento, so I created it.
Yeah.
That's a much different path than, oh, man, I grew a YouTube channel, and people like to listen to me about deadlifts, so I'm just going to make some money putting a deadlift bar in here.
It may very well be that, what's the thought you put into it before you get started that dictates what, if you enjoy it or what you enjoy about it going forward. I mean, I can be completely wrong because this is all happening in real time, folks. This is the documentary that's happening while you watch.
Truman Show.
Yeah. We could be saying different things when trying not to be negative, but saying different things in different time. But we could feel differently about it. But I don't know that we will. I mean, I'm anticipating a certain measure of success. If we meet that, that's going to feel pretty good. If we exceed that, that's going to feel really good. If we do not meet that, it's going to be uncomfortable, and we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to, but the thing is that, like, we're going to continue to re-engineer and refocus and whatever to continue to make things work or to make things work better over time. And I think that maybe, I don't know, this is pure speculation, but maybe the people who are completely burnt out just don't have that anymore.
Or ever.
And
sad. And everyone wants to say, like, you could be what you want to be. Yeah. I don't think everyone can be what they want to be.
Yeah. And I mean, what I was getting at earlier, I think it takes a certain naivete to move forward in any business.
I agree.
Because as much as you feel like something might be a hit, it might not be a hit. Right. So many factors are outside of your control.
But that's what I enjoy in a way, is like, how do I optimize this, that, and the other? This is lagging. How do we get this people here? And I always enjoyed that. But when I opened my first gym at 19, I just wasn't resourceful or like confident enough to do those. But now I am, and then I'm really confident having you as a sidekick or a mutual kick.
Mutual kick.
What's a duo?
Duo.
Because you're more resourceful than I am, and I can come up with dumb ideas, and you can help me funnel that dumb idea into an action. Yeah. Where that's what I could do on my own, but I'd probably just be beating my head against a wall for a month. But I could tell you, hey, Jim, I got this idea. I think we can really get a bunch of gymnasts in here. They're really getting into squats. That's growing. What do we do? And you could find, you'll funnel my brains into a way that we put that into something. Right. If we were lacking in members or with clothing. Hey, Jim, I think I just need to get our clothes into a retail space because I think they'll hit this demographic. How do we do that? And you'll help me find a thing. Like, you're good at that, and I'm not good at that. I'm okay at finding answers to problems. I'm not okay creating the solution, and you're a solution guy. Yeah. And that's where I think the duo works, and that's what I think business ownership, whether it be online or in person, is. And it just happens that we're launching 2 big ones, so we have a lot of same time. Yeah, so we just have a lot of these things that we're juggling.
apparel stuff has been, more your thing than my thing, but that doesn't mean that I haven't been like intimately involved with it as well.
No, yeah, you're passing everything through you, handling, because I don't know Shopify and all that. Again, like I don't
know it as well as I'm gonna.
yeah, me too. I downloaded the app and I start fucking around with it.
Oh, wow. There's a lot going on.
That's the thing, is there's pieces to everything, and most companies probably do fail. And this is like cliche again, but is because they take on investors early. They don't have the money, the resources, or the team to do it. And we may fail thinking that we can handle it all by ourselves. Maybe that is our weak link, and we figure that out later. But as of right now, yeah, it's just us taking, and I've said this multiple times to the team and maybe on here too, but if you plan on doing these things, you have to wear multiple hats. You can't, I can't just be Mike the clothing guy right now. Like I'm Mike cobweb guy. I'm Mike learn how to put a barn wall up, Mike. You know what I mean? And you're not just accountant Jim, marketing Jim, you're electrician Jim as of yesterday.
Yeah.
And so those are just kind of the things that have to get done.
Fucking woodworker Jim.
Everyone loves that though. I think that's probably the biggest compliment we've ever got, is like, because we have a bunch of really cool, hopefully we'll do a video tour, maybe on this channel, but probably my YouTube as well. And you guys will see it live in pictures, and you've probably seen pieces if you follow me and Jim on Instagram. But Jim's put accents, beautiful accents everywhere that look so professional, and you can't even fully appreciate them unless you saw the before. So hopefully we do have, I know we have old pictures, but if we had like crap pictures of what they looked like,
we have a walkthrough video from
the first February month. So we have stuff like that, because then people already say like, oh yeah, like, hey, look at this windowsill, Jim made that, or like this door framing, or this door, and everyone just comes running out like, Jim, we didn't know you're so good. Like, and it does, it looks fucking professional as shit. Like, it looks like it belongs here. Where the stuff I've done, I don't know if this belongs here. It turned out okay.
No, I think it's really good.
It turned out okay, really, but it's not like, man, Mike, you're the metal guy all of a sudden. But Jim literally could probably have a career in wood.
I'd have to learn so much more that I don't know if I have the patience for. But
I don't have the patience to do this again. Not the renovation part. I can do this business stuff. I just don't.
I could probably do the renovation stuff over and over again as long as I didn't have to do all of it. And I think part of it is just, you're talking about different hats. Like, it's the administration of all of this. It's the logistics, it's the marketing, and it's like figuring out what the offering is going to be, what memberships look like, all that stuff. What equipment should we have? What is going to hurt us if we don't have it? And then there's a whole like tin can in the back room here.
We basically built a house.
Yeah, it's like what do we like? How do we make this usable for us in the future? And what are the limitations to this building that, like, probably noise is going to be a continuing issue. It's probably it'll get knocked down. The ceiling in this room right now is probably 18 feet, 20, something like that. Yeah, maybe
20 at the peak.
And so every once in a while we drift far enough off mic that it really echoes like a mother. But there's nothing I can do about that right now.
There's a shorter roof in the other one, but it's all metal.
You can hear the traffic outside.
Yeah, Highway 5, for those that don't know, basically goes Seattle to Mexico. Yeah. Is right out our door.
Yeah.
Rocks throw.
Yeah, literally, like, over the weekend, there was road work, construction stuff going on there, and they were literally shaking the building. Yeah. I don't it's like they were causing little earthquakes. I don't know. Actually, this is another thing that I've come to terms with over the last couple of weeks. We are in Sacramento, California. That's thing one. This is the state capital of California. Yeah. We are in Northern California, but not extreme Northern California.
This is like what they call
North Central California.
This is what they call Northern California because the populace is here. So we're basically, even if you drew a line longitudinally, latitudinally, horizontally from San Francisco to Tahoe.
Yeah.
We're basically in a line. It kind of goes San Francisco, us, Tahoe. And those are bigger cities that some people know, Lake Tahoe. And so that's what they call Northern California, just because San Francisco's top 10 biggest cities in the world. Yeah, but there is also 5-6 hours of California above us and about 10 hours of driving California below us. So
probably, but
to the
border probably 8.
Yeah, it takes a while. Traffic.
Yeah.
Point is, we are central-y located.
But we are a good 380, 400 something miles from Los Angeles.
Right. Very
so
long.
We are not close. So if you're planning, say you're planning to go on a vacation when all this stuff calms down, and you want to visit gyms, realize that if you want to go to, say, Barbell Brigade, and our gym,
it's possible.
It's possible, but it's
a 5-hour drive.
Or 6.
Yeah. Freeway to freeway. They're right off of 5 too.
That's true. Yeah, like 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
It's not close.
Right.
And you're probably not going to do the whole thing in one day.
My suggestion is a San Francisco land. I don't like San Francisco right now, but the airport's big and flights are cheap. You do a day or two in there. There's some things you can still do. I just don't love the city where it is right now. Hour and a half, no traffic. Maybe an hour, no traffic. You can get to us.
About hour and a half. Excuse me.
Real quick, you can get to us. Sacramento, when things are open and we're slowly getting there. Our food, our coffee, even just hopping on one of our little, and I know COVID, grab some sanitizer, but one of our little scooters, our little bikes. We're super walkable city, beautiful trees, especially fall. It's a little warm right now, but in a couple weeks, it's gorgeous. Cruise around, grab some food, grab a brewery. And then I would also go another hour and a half east and check out Lake Tahoe, which is my favorite place on the planet, although I never go. Beautiful.
Well, that's how you can keep it your favorite place, by not being there to the point that it bothers you.
That's true too. The cool thing is that is like the spectrum. When you go to San Francisco, you have NorCal vibes for sure, but it's so metro, so city.
Yeah, international too.
You're very diverse, but then you go to us, and we're the perfect mix of outdoor and city.
Yeah.
And then you go to Tahoe, and now you have outdoor wonderland.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's literally a spectrum. You can kind of scratch all your itches in 5 days. That's the suggestion I have. But yeah, like Jim said, we're almost as close to Portland as we are San Diego.
Yeah, we might be closer to Portland.
Yeah, Portland will take about 9 hours.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, I've done that drive too many times. California's real fucking big.
And California is big, and so I like if you wanted, if this is a vacation destination, please come and see us. We will have reasonable day passes available for everyone, and we might even be around. It's possible.
Likely.
It's possible.
And then I don't know if we announce now. We announce now.
Let's do it now.
I don't know how much we promised you, but we promised ourselves to promise you early drops all the time for the podcast crew. So any 50% facts. And hopefully you like this episode. I know we rambled. A little negative, a little positive.
This is our 100th episode, too, by the way.
Yeah, we should have had beers
or something. We cheated, but in terms of, because we had to do some what did I call them?
Remix. Remix is good.
Remix is good, yeah.
Because, so
Encore.
And we've been podcast sadly has taken a little bit of a backseat. All our content has posted on Instagram once in the last fucking year because our hands are a little dirty. But this is coming back full force. What our format is still up for discussion. How many episodes a week, still up for discussion. For sure, we'll try to get you guys one. Once the studio's set up, we might be inclined to pop off. We might be inclined to keep the 50% format. We might be inclined to go more casual like this. I personally would love to have more in-person guests. COVID's slowing us, but we'll have a studio set up for that, which will be a lot of fun. But what we promised is early access since you guys have supported us day one. I mean, I'm more active on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that, or even Twitch compared to this over the last 8 years, but podcast, Jim's invite to me to be on a podcast was my start having a voice in the industry. So we always want to pay homage to you guys for supporting and rolling with us for the longest too. It was the first content I really created. I did some stuff on Jim's YouTube and other YouTubes at the time, but podcast was the first consistent place. So we want to give you guys a day early access for all our launches on all our clothing, our accessories, our apparel, 3sb.co. We're going to try to set it up for midnight on Thursday, the 8th. I think that works.
Okay.
So we're going to try to set up for midnight Thursday the 8th, wherever you live. We're doing Pacific Standard Time. That's where we live. If not, whenever you wake up on the 8th, we're going to try to get the link ready to rock for you guys. So it's 3sb.co. Everything's one-off. Everything's limited. Snag it while you can. You guys in my small, lovely Twitch community are the first grabs on everything. So snag that, and then it goes internet public on Friday. So you get 24 hours to grab what you want. Couple tees, couple hats, couple shorts, couple hidden accessories. So check that out, 3sb.co.
We're at 56 minutes in-ish.
Time to go buy an Ethernet cable.
Yeah, we need to run Cat 6 cable from the back room where the incredibly fast internet is up to the front where it isn't.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi is pretty strong.
It's been fine. It's been fine.
It's been fine, but it can be better.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got to do that.
We can always be better. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, we could, of everything that we're doing to try to cover all the bases that we have to cover.
Yeah.
There's always more.
Yeah, there's always
more, and there are things that you're aware of that you could be doing that you're not doing, and the things that you don't even know about yet.
Right. Yeah, and you can always zone in and try to improve one area, but again, wearing a couple hats, you just kind of slowly lift the meters.
Yes.
Juggling balls.
Alrighty.
Appreciate you guys. 3sb.co, 3rd Street Barbell on Instagram. I'm Silent Mike 2Ks, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you can find me.
I am at the Jim McD on all the social medias. Follow the show on Instagram. We're 50% facts, where percent is word. 50 is just numbers. The website's the same. Hopefully, when my hands are not dirty every single day with working on this building, that we'll get back to doing some enhancements to the website and making it a little more exciting for all y'all. So we will talk to you next week. We promise it's going to happen. And thanks for 100 episodes.
Oof. 100 episodes, 2 years?
Not quite 2 years. Over a year and a half.
2.6?
Yeah, something like that. It'll be 2 years in December. All right, we're out.